Peace to all the light beings, the light workers. You know who you are. I don't have to explain that. I am just relaying a message that at first I was like, oh, this is probably just for me. But as I'm being more grounded and aware to the truth that we are the one experiencing itself as the many, then I had to take a back seat and just allow whatever needs to be said. You feel me? Okay, so light beings, I really feel that it is really time for us to reevaluate all the different sectors and spheres of our life. Look at your home life, look at your health, look at your workplace, look at your creativity, your artistic outlets. What are the conditions of these states, and how can we go deeper into looking at what needs to be healed, what needs to be restored, and then what needs to be solidified in order to create a foundation that can withhold and withstand the capacity of wisdom and knowledge and healing and work, light work, that is going to be taking place in this next year and the years to come. Because obviously things are happening in the world, and our attention is our energy. And what they, and I'll just say they, but you know who they are. Everybody's like, who's they? You know, I don't have to say it. I don't have to say these things because you are vibrating with me on the same frequency, the same wavelength. There are certain inorganic beings that have been manipulating the weather, the food, the air we breathe, medicine, like all these things in order to keep our vibration low. But light beings, we have to realize that they want our attention, which is our energy. So in order for us to really readjust to this new lifestyle that we are embracing, we have to go back and uproot the old ways. We have to surrender to the process, to the flow of life, because when we are resisting change, it creates unnecessary suffering, and we don't need that, right? Which makes it unnecessary, right? So what needs to be done is looking at what are we putting in our bodies? What are we putting on our bodies, which eventually gets absorbed through the integumentary system, of course, and goes into our organs. And we have to look at how are these things affecting us? So for me personally, I'm starting to juice. I just bought a juicer today. Like, I have to be on my shit because our organs are important. And I also am just really feeling that we are going to start connecting with other people who are on a similar path. They're just like coming naturally, right? Pay attention, continue to pay attention to the synchronicities. Like if you keep hearing something come up, like I keep hearing juice cleanses come up, even though people have tried to talk me out of it, I have to go and follow my intuition. We have to listen to our personal voice that is leading us and guiding us, because there are always going to be outside forces to try to influence us somewhere else, and it's called a distraction. You feel me? Like, it's really time to zone in and be focused on the work that we came here to do. That's what it is. And for light workers, we have already gone through a list of traumatic experiences that have affected the way that we perceive life before the collective went through that big traumatic experience. That's, frankly, still happening. But, the 2019-2020 event, we have to realize that it's time to make these real tangible changes. For me, I've always been in my head oh, I need to do this, I need to do that. Okay, that's great, but my friend Bryce always says you only know what you do. You only know what you practice. So it's time to practice these tangible ways of living in our light bodies. It's time to prepare the way. If you've read the Bible, it kind of reminds me of the role of John the Baptist, where we're preparing the way for everybody else to shine their light. And by us working on ourselves and healing our own bodies and cleansing our life and detoxing from the inside out, whatever that looks like for you, whether that's letting go of items, cleaning out your closet, which I'm also doing, cleaning out your body, cleansing your mind, renewing your mind, changing your thoughts, changing the way that you speak to yourself, changing the way you speak to others, changing the way you speak over your food. All these things are important, because as we look and heal ourselves, we then hold space and give permission for other people to heal themselves. We're not out here as light workers trying to save somebody, save everybody, which growing up in religion, I thought that's what I had to do in order to be helpful. But those are just signs of codependency, savior complex. We're shedding those layers, right? I'm deconstructing that still. But as of right now, I just really feel that we are called to look at our own lives, evaluate them, make tangible changes so we can then live and vibrate at a higher frequency despite all the distractions coming from the external world. Because it's time to vibrate higher. It's time to really hone in on what we've been called to do. Listen to yourself. Don't let anybody dissuade you or talk you out of something that you are called to do. We all have our own unique DNA codes that we came here to see unfold, because everybody has their own unique path. Although we are the one expressing itself as many, we all have to do our part. And you're not going to find your purpose on Google. You're not going to find what you should do on the internet. You have to look within, inquire within, listen to what is happening, listen to what you're being nudged to do, and just follow it. That's it. And be gracious towards yourself. Have compassion on yourself and be patient with the process. You're light worker, so you're light years ahead of what is happening with other people, because we are set out to be the example, to just be yourself. And that's all that I feel led to say. And I love you. Sending love on your journey. If I'm not on Instagram, feel free to hit me up a different way. Yeah. Okay, see you. Much love.